here the very first event comes is the before insert. So this trigger event we will going to select whenever the requirement is saying that you need to validate something or you need to update something before the insertion of this record. Before its insertion, that is the record is not yet inserted, the record id is not there for this record. But yeah, before this, if you want to want to check any criteria whether the rating is hot or warm, example, on the account we are having rating field, so whatever the value is there in the rating, then based on this I want to update other fields, like I want to update the description or I want to update the type. So all these things when you will going to do before its insertion itself. Why you will going to select here before? So there are the two reasons to select this before. So the first reason is, as on the same object I need to do the changes, so this is the one of the reason. Whenever only the single object is needed or included in the trigger, then you will go for the before. Now the next comes here is the that why to go for external DML. Okay, why to add any DML in my code to update the field? Because once the record is inserted into the Salesforce, and now if you want to update any kind of field on this same object, then you need to externally add one more DML in your code. But in case of before, now as the record is not yet saved into the database, so there is no need of adding any kind of DML operation in your code, because Salesforce also going to perform the database operations like insert, update, delete. So here before this database operations we will going to update the values, and whenever it will going to save into the database, it automatically update the fields. So these are the reason why to go for the before insert for this particular requirement. If we talk about the context variable in case of before insert, as we are having four different context variable, the first is trigger.new, new map, old, and old map. So only the trigger.new will going to give you the records, okay, or the values. Other than the remaining three will not going to give you any kind of data. Why not new map? Because in case of before insert, your data is not yet saved into the database, okay, the record id is not yet assigned to these records. So that is why no map, trigger.new map will not going to have any value. And next is trigger.old, and old map will also not going to have, because the operation we are performing here, new records we are inserting, so there is no older version of these records, so these are the newly records. So only in the case of new we will going to have the value. Okay, so in the before insert, trigger.new is the context variable which will going to give you the data or the records which fire the triggers.